Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm going to try out some new paper to use my Posca Paint Pens on. Previously I've been trying them out in my Moleskine Watercolor sketchbook, but I bought a Canson A5 sketchbook. It's only 180 gram paper, so it's a bit thinner, but it's pure white, and I just want to see if it worked well. So, unlike the Moleskine, this paper is very smooth and I said white instead of off-white as the Moleskine have. So I was looking forward to see how it worked out, especially since the paint pens, if you try them, they are quite, not watery, but painty. So you kind of need a bit of thicker paper to handle the amount of fluids, and also something that works smoothly, I guess. So the first thing I did was try out all my different colors just to see how they look. And granted, I should probably have made these swatches a bit bigger because now they kind of look a bit pathetic, but I thought it was nice to put this in the back of the sketchbooks in case I decided to use this for Posca Paint Pens. It's nice to have all the colors in the back, and I'm planning also to write like what size I have in each color, since I do have some paints in multiple sizes and so on, which is nice if I'm looking to buying some more colors and such. But at the first glance, the pens worked quite smoothly. If you have tried the pastel pens, they are a bit more watery, I think, so I can see quite a big difference for the swatches that I made with some of the colors, especially the light pink one. The light purple one are a bit more watery, so I could see that right away, but I think it held up pretty okay. And the next thing that I wanted to do was just try to doodle some and see how the pens reacted to the paint or to the paper in like bigger squares. So I just doodled some squares and some little scribbles and such, and it did quite okay, I think. I don't think there's that much different from the watercolor paper that I used in my Moleskine. I think it handles it quite well, even for like a bit of a larger square. I think it went okay. The one thing that I prefer much more with this paper, since I'm guessing it's hot pressed because it's so smooth, unlike the Moleskine watercolor paper, which I'm guessing is cold pressed because it has more texture. Um, when I use these ones, the finer lined Posca pens, on my textured paper, it can sometimes like do a little bit of a splatter. I don't really know how to explain it, but the nib kind of tugs a bit and I get paint where I don't want it. And it did not occur with this paper as it's smoother, so I thought that was quite nice. So for the first test, I think it went okay. I think the paper handled the pens quite well. And I'm just trying to see how you can layer them and how the paper reacts when I do more layers than one. And as you might have noticed, I didn't let these dry for too long, but it still worked fine. The paper took it quite well. And then I wanted to try something larger. I didn't really have a good idea of what I wanted to draw, so I just did a little seaside scenery. So I used some washi tape just to frame out a bit. And this is just washi tape from Muji, and I did a rough sketch, which I don't think you can actually see on camera because it was so light. But I just wanted to try to cover a larger area on the paper and see how it reacted. So I'm gonna show you how I did that. And overall, I think the paper did quite okay. It did end up being more wrinkly, is that how you say it? When the paper gets too wet, or it budged, and yeah, it's not lying flat down, and it's not as flat as the Moleskine sketchbook, which I guess is obvious since it's not as thick paper. But I think it did an okay job. I think the white looks great with these pens. The pens colors really pop very nicely. And also, I think one of the main problems people might have with Posca, or one of the big annoyance, are, I don't know what it's called, but I call them paper boogers. It's when, you know, the paint gets so wet, it kind of drags up some of the paper fibers and end up in like tiny little blobs on your drawing. Um, and I do think the amount of paper booger were on the same basically on this paper as the thicker watercolor papers. So I have no complaints about that, especially since if you let it dry, you can just scrape them off and they basically leave no trace if you do it gently. But yeah, that's basically it. I think I will try to use this paper more. Since it's a sketchbook, I don't really care if it's like a bit of wrinkly and such paper. But if I was going to do like a painting or something like more serious, I think I would like to go with a thicker paper because this would not hold up to the standard, I think. But yeah, I will just leave you to watch the rest of this video. Hope you like it. And I'm sorry if it's a bit rambly. This is like the first time I'm trying to talk like kind of semi-review style video. So I just gave it a go. Hopefully you like it. I will definitely try these pens more in this sketchbook and see how it goes. I will leave some links to my other sketchbook like videos if you want to see that. But yeah, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.